going to talk about movies.
Yes.
And by movies, I mean one movie. We're going to talk about Pinocchio. I'm just going to get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cinematic Relief. I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
And today, we're going to talk about Disney's new live-action Pinocchio movie.
Before we get into it, though,
Yes.
as I teased in our regular podcast this week, I have a new segment I might want to bring up.
Yes.
Oh,
right now at the top
right
of the
now.
hour? Oh, okay.
Top
cool.
of the hour, because I don't think it would make sense afterwards.
Okay.
I want to get this out of the way right now. It has no title.
Yes.
But I've been watching a lot of, I was going to say shit, but it's not shit, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. I've been watching a lot of stuff recently. A lot of it being TV shows, documentaries, things we'd either maybe do on Cinematic Relief
But
or things that
not.
just would have got brushed under the...
Yeah.
And I think there should be like an honorable mention segment. Things that are currently ongoing, too. Things that I want to discuss because we're in the middle of it, but it'd be weird to talk about and make a whole episode out of it right in the middle. Is that cool? I have 4 shows I'd like to talk about for briefly.
Yeah. Okay.
To begin with, She-Hulk.
Yes.
I want to
She-Hulk.
discuss She-Hulk mid-season.
So I have not seen the newest episode.
Oh,
the last episode I saw was the episode with Madison.
It's funny. They never say the word goop, and Gwyneth Paltrow's never mentioned, but it really feels like they created a character who is just goop Gwyneth Paltrow.
Dude.
Which is ironic. Funny? I think it's more funny because she is in the MCU.
This is what I have to say about She-Hulk briefly, because it'll probably get its own episode.
This of all the things I'm going to mention, this is probably the one thing that will get its own episode here.
Episode 1 was fine.
Yeah.
Episode 2 was, I was like, okay, I can see this turning into a. Are you okay? I could see this turning into the show that it wants to be. Episode 3, I think, is the episode where she defends Emil Blonsky and the other dude is defending that dude who went out with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes.
That episode.
Yeah.
I think that episode's fantastic, and I think that episode is like more of what I want to see from this show. I think that was like the perfect formula of like an interesting A story, a really compelling B story. They come together at the end. She-Hulk got to do She-Hulk shit and talk to the camera the whole time, and 2 super cool cameos, one in universe, one sort of not.
I think this is my favorite of the MCU TV shows.
Really?
Already.
Even more than what was your top one was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
Yes. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why.
First of all, very refreshing to hear you say that because this show is getting a lot of hate for some reason.
Is it really?
Not from people. So, like, Nando V Movies, big She-Hulk fan, loving it, eating it
Yeah.
up. I really like this show. There's a large portion of the internet that's just like, blah, blah, blah. It's all women-focused and male.
Well, it's a female character.
I mean, yeah. No, I'm not saying I don't give a shit. I think it's a really good show. But there's a lot of people who, every single week, they seem to have the same complaint, which is like, I didn't like the joke where she joked about masculinity because now I feel lesser than. And it's like, eat a dick. Like, I don't care. It's a good TV show.
I don't think I felt that once on this show. I mean, it's definitely from a woman's perspective because that's the main character.
That's why it's so refreshing.
Well, here's what I like about it, and it actually has nothing to do with that aspect of it. I think she's a great character. Here's what She-Hulk. Oh, is everything okay?
No, yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
It's just like,
Oh, just a little off.
yeah, just because we switched over to Cinematic Relief.
Gotcha. Here. Oh,
No, keep
Thank
going,
you.
keep going. I'm just
Here's-
centering us.
here's what She-Hulk is doing right. That Moon Knight.
Miss Marvel.
I almost said Shazam.
Well, that's funny because Shazam and Captain Marvel is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if that's where the connection was. I don't know why I almost said Shazam. Miss Marvel and what came before? Moon Knight?
Hawkeye?
No,
What If?
No. Okay, maybe I'm just
WandaVision, Loki, Winter Soldier.
I'm gonna cap it at those 2.
Okay,
The
Loki, perhaps.
No, actually, I mean I am capping it at these 2 because
Okay.
these are She-Hulk's a new character, Moon Knight's a new character,
Right.
and Shazam's a new character.
Right. Everyone else had like girl Hawkeye. I forget her. Kate
yeah,
Bishop.
she's got
She's technically a new character, but she's got
She's
Hawkeye
Hawkeye.
right there with her, and
Yeah.
Yelena. It's not. Yeah. And Daredevil, or no, Kingpin.
Right. Here's what She-Hulk is getting right that those two are not. She is building on a universe that already exists.
Mm-hmm.
Every time an episode of She-Hulk comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I recognize this place.
Yeah.
Even in the slightest of details, like I'm not going to spoil this week's episode, but there was just some aspect of what would be happening in this universe that I was like, oh yeah, I never even thought about that, but that's probably a thing.
Right. Well, I think this show would have failed if they didn't do that, because She-Hulk's whole fucking thing is she's a superhero lawyer for superheroes, so you never know who's gonna like show up next.
Right. Well,
that's why it works as a like a action comedy, I think, because it's like
absolutely,
because like the fucking Wong episode where he was like, I've got a beef with a magician, and that was it. That was the whole episode.
Yeah.
And
no,
it's just like, all right.
That I love being drawn in by that aspect, that it really is just a centralized. It's honestly, it's showing me what the next phase of Marvel is going to look like. It's like superheroes are just a thing now.
It's also, intentionally or not, really putting the timeline of the last few months in perspective.
Oh,
I know exactly when Shang-Chi happened. I now have an explanation as to why Bruce is a human hologram in the end credits scene of Shang-Chi. It's just like, it's connecting a lot of things, and I don't know if that was their intent, but that's what they're doing. And Daredevil's going to be in this fucking show at some point.
I'm not going to say anything about this week's episode.
Fuck yeah.
But I'm really appreciating. I feel like we've been in limbo for too long with what is currently happening in the MCU we know and love. It's exciting that we're meeting these new characters.
Right.
Couldn't
and
they tie into the story a little bit?
Right.
Just a little bit.
That's the thing. If like or hate Miss Marvel, I don't feel like the same thing. The same way I felt about Shang-Chi or Loki, I don't feel about Miss Marvel, where I'm like, all right, see you in the next thing, I guess. It doesn't seem like this is connected to everything else, but you promise it is. So
right. That's how I felt about Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. She-Hulk feels very connected. That's only one thing, though. Second thing is they got good actors. Miss Marvel was heavily. They took a shot on a kid, which like I get it.
Right.
Star Wars did it. It worked out for them.
Right.
Back in '77, but
they also did an open casting call for Force Awakens.
They do it every time because that's their thing. They get new people, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Miss I'm sure she's got too many good actors around her to not hone in on her skills. I think she's a little too green still for the role that she was given.
Sorry.
No. She-Hulk is not too green.
I thought you were talking about
the woman who plays Miss Marvel.
No, I thought you were bringing back the thing we love to talk about like the most vibrant blue can't be Sonic. It has to be
right.
Like it can't be the CGI thing. And I was like, yeah, she is. Yeah, that was funny.
No, too many not nuanced actors in Miss Marvel. It really took me out of it. Moon Knight has the issue of just having nothing to do. That could be a standalone TV show. And if you didn't know that Moon Knight was a Marvel character, you'd just say, what a weird show I just watched. She-Hulk's just killing it.
I feel like Moon Knight is like the worst offender of that.
Yeah.
Like there really is even the after the credits scene is like there is really no like mention of anything or any other thing at all that's happening. It's a really centralized story, and at the very least in Miss Marvel, heavy spoilers for Miss Marvel, but you got a lot at the end there. She's an X-Men. Something's happening with Captain Marvel. We know at least what's going to happen with her. I don't know. I have no idea when Moon Knight's going to show up next, or when, or how, or if, because I feel like a lot of people didn't like it.
Well, that's kind of I walked away with from Miss Marvel not giving a shit about the character. I walked away from Moon Knight slightly enticed, but like if I don't see Moon Knight in the next 2 years, I'm not gonna give a shit.
Right.
I'm already talks about Miss Marvel talks about X-Men. She does?
They confirm at the end that she is an X-Men. She's
Oh
a mutant.
yeah.
And
You're
they
right.
complete with the '90s theme song. And that's not how the comic books go. She's supposed to be an Inhuman. It doesn't matter. It's cool. X-Men are coming. It's probably in 2025 at the very... Oh, but did you see the She-Hulk Easter egg? Did you hear about this?
What was it?
In episode 2, she's reading an article on a computer, and there's 2 like related articles on the side, and one of them is why is there a giant statue in the middle of the ocean, which is a reference to Eternals. But the other one,
funny.
the other one is Canadian bar fight ends in man with claws.
Oh shit!
A reference to Wolverine.
Oh, that's cool. I did not hear about that.
Yeah.
But just to cap this
I
off,
can't believe I didn't talk to you about that. I was freaking out about that
That's
for like
crazy.
3 whole days.
that's
Because
crazy.
I'm so excited for Wolverine.
Oh, he's coming.
I can't wait to see who's playing him. I hope it's Taron Egerton.
I'm not putting my hat in any ring as of now. Undecided voter is
for
what I am.
casting of Wolverine. Yeah.
Just to cap this off, I give a shit about She-Hulk already.
Yes,
They've gone hard, and I think they did a really good job. I care about She-Hulk, and I'm enjoying She-Hulk. Unless you have anything else to say, I think move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Rings of Power. I started watching.
Oh, okay. Yay or nay?
Oh, are you watching it?
No,
Okay.
but I had a struggle trying to figure out when this this TV show takes place.
This takes place.
Mason, you're going to be waiting until you're dead. That's not coming out. They canned that years ago.
I'm also. It clearly takes
Well,
place.
I have the answer now. It takes
okay.
place. It takes place at the very, very tail end of the Second Age, an age in Tolkien lore which spans 3,000 years. Because there's characters from the movies that are on this, but they're young. Most importantly, is Isildur, who is a human? ?
Mm-hmm.
And he ages like a normal human.
Right.
So no matter how young Elrond or Galadriel look, you can probably
You have
say,
a
you have a constant with Isildur. The Third Age starts the moment he defingers Sauron.
Yeah.
And he was probably couldn't have been younger than 50 in that scene.
Right.
So we're talking 10 to 40 years before Fellowship of the Ring is when this movie takes place.
And I'm really, I'm learning a lot more about Lord of the Rings, which is really exciting. The show seems cool. It's a little slow paced. I don't know how many episodes there are, but we're 3 in, and like it's starting. I'm liking it. I'm gonna. You know what?
Okay.
I was timid to say it, but I'm liking it.
Because I even go as far as to say that I'm probably a bigger Lord of the Rings fan than you, and this show was not on my radar. I kind of like wasn't looking forward to it. But
I think I'm a
say,
closeted, pretty big Lord of the Rings fan. Not as much as Star Wars.
No, I'm not saying you're not. That's what I'm saying. You like Star Wars more than I do. I feel like I like Lord of the Rings more than you do.
Okay.
But that being said, you're watching it. I'm not because I didn't care. But if you're saying it's good, I think I'll still wait until the season's over. But I might tune in.
I'd tune in because like there's things that I've always wondered about Middle Earth that are starting to they're and when I say they, I mean the Silmarillion. I can only imagine explores the boundaries of Middle Earth so much more than The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings
When
did.
you say explores the boundaries, do you mean like
physically?
like geographically?
Yeah, geographically.
Okay, that does excite me.
We finally get to see the ocean and things that live in the ocean.
Oh.
The Sunderling Sea, technically,
like,
is what it's called.
That is like the wrong direction, but I'm still interested.
I mean, that's not a majority of the show. It's
No, I
just,
know. I just like when I'm looking at the map, right? And I'm like, I want you to explore over here.
Oh, I know. But I just use that as an example because it's like they didn't even go to the ocean in either of those movies.
Right.
Also, my TV's here, right?
Yeah.
And since Comic-Con, I've got just a giant-ass fucking map of Middle-earth, like, right here. So every time they mention something, me and Pauline, our heads just go like this. We're just
That's cool, dude. That's cool. I used to have a map of Skyrim on my wall. So instead of opening them, if I didn't have to fast travel, instead of opening
Wasn't it like...
Yeah, I think it was above my bed.
Yeah, it was like right here, I think.
But instead of opening them, unless I had to fast travel, instead of opening my map, I'd just be like, oh, okay, that's what
So yeah, it gets a yay. It's getting a yay thus far.
I can confirm it's going to finish with 8 episodes.
Okay, I feel like that'll be well paced then.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes.
I watched that Obi-Wan documentary I made fun of earlier.
Okay.
It was really good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I will probably watch it at some point.
Yeah, I think leave that there.
Yeah,
it was good. Check it out. After that, I found a docu-series that I think you would absolutely love that I had no clue existed.
Okay.
Industrial Lights and Magic. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. I think I heard about this. They have a docuseries on Disney Plus.
Yes, and it sounds like I haven't looked at the episode chart whatever yet. I started episode 1 and it starts with Star Wars when the company was created.
Oh, okay.
And it ends with a cliffhanger. So Star Wars is clearly going to be a 2-episode thing.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger is we're still making episode 1. George is in England shooting. We're the special effects department who should have had a bunch of scenes already done. We've spent half the budget and have 2 30-second scenes done. George shows up. He's bullshit.
Well, yeah.
And that's where the episode ends.
I see. So this is early ILM.
Well, I think it spans because in the intro it shows up to Harry Potter and then even
really?
more.
'Cause
It
I would
shows
love
everything.
As prolific and
Oh yeah, of
astounding
course.
as Star
You want
Wars
to see.
was.
You want to see everything.
I want to see them talk
Well,
about computer graphic imagery.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is I haven't looked at the episode list yet, but I think it goes from the beginning to modern day.
That would be pretty cool. You keep your eyes on that and tell me
I'm
how
gonna
it is.
keep watching. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I would be interested in that.
It was already episode 1 was fascinating, and I didn't even go to it for Star Wars. I was just genuinely interested in how this company works.
And I can only assume that every episode of this docuseries is not going to be about Star Wars.
No,
because that's
they
how
made
they
a
started,
point.
but they make more shit.
Oh yeah, they made a
throughout
point
history.
to say here we go. Here's the company.
Right.
Here's everything about it. So, but I think they're just making a hard point of because they made a point to say in the first episode, the whole first episode is essentially we got people who weren't in the industry who were just mechanically inclined in different areas. It made them join a company. The reason we did that is because that's all we had. And 2, they didn't know what they couldn't do, so they broke through boundaries. They were literally building and creating machinery that just didn't exist to make this movie.
Yeah, dude, and I love stories like that. But Star Wars is the number one, for quantity. They have the most stories of so we didn't have this rig that we needed, so we just made one.
Yeah.
And then it didn't work, so we made a thing to fix that thing.
Yeah.
And then we patent both of them.
Right. No, well, that I haven't gotten to the end of this episode, but it really feels like A New Hope finishes, and they're like, well, fuck, there's 300 of us. Also, we have a bunch of things that no other movie company has, so well, let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to watch that,
Continue
and
that,
I think that's something you would also really like.
Cool. I don't know if you guys care about the Cyberpunk game, but it's
that's cool.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I nothing Cyberpunk, but I'm sure I've heard Cyberpunk kind of was it was like a No Man's Sky where the game came out and people were like, wow, it's fucking not done. All right, but now that it is done, people seem to. It's the people who like it really like it.
Okay.
So I'm glad that it got its due. I'm glad that this anime is happening, but I will not be watching it.
If Pauline's into it, I'll probably give it a go.
Yeah.
Check it out. But that is, I don't know what we could call this segment, but I feel like there's enough things going on in TV right now that I was like, there should be an honorable mention. Obi-Wan's never getting an episode. That
you mean the documentary?
The documentary,
right?
That Industrial Lights and Magic thing is never getting an episode. And Rings of Power might not if you're not watching it right now. So those are 3 things that I was like, damn, I really want to talk about them.
Feel free to shut me down immediately because maybe you do want to do an episode about this. But can I talk about Elvis real quick?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Maybe next cinematic relief
will be about Elvis.
Either be about Elvis or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Put it there. I'm dying to see it,
Yeah.
and I genuinely don't want spoilers right now.
Right.
I don't want to be a jerk. I don't want to shut
That's
you down.
why I said feel free to shut me down. because it was really good, and I would like to talk about it.
Genshin Impact anime announced today.
Yes, I did.
That's cool.
I did hear about that. That I might tune into if it seems good.
Do you like that segment?
Yeah, no, that
cool.
I think that's fine. I think that'll bring us from 40 minutes to an hour for sure. But so like Chris said, we can confirm a She-Hulk episode, and we can confirm an Elvis conversation,
at least
a topic discussion at some point. And big old question mark about Rings of Power. But those other two documentary things
it won't happen.
Aren't going to get an episode. But they seem cool, and they get
check them out.
lightning seal of approval. At least the couple episodes he
Probably
already watched.
Shouldn't do this. I feel like people can really gift the shit out of this.
Yeah, just keep doing it while you're talking about how you shouldn't do it. That'll really put their minds at ease. Oh, okay. He said I was they're mid-edit. He's like, "Oh, he said don't do it."
Shit.
I'll delete it. I'll delete the giant dicks. Okay. Let's talk about Pinocchio.
Yeah. Okay, Tom Hanks.
Here's what's up about Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Everyone on the internet fucking hates it, and I can't figure out why. I saw like Twitter thread after Twitter thread of people being like, and including Nando V Movies, my go-to movie critic, just being like, yeah, that sucked, and like people being like, I only watched 5 minutes and then I had to stop watching because it was so bad, and I'm just like,
really? I
don't understand, and no one will say why.
Okay.
No one is like,
so everybody's following the crowd.
It seems like live action Disney movies are fun to shit on because there was one of them or maybe two of them that were pretty bad. And this one is another one of those, but I, in my opinion, I don't think it was bad. I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed
it. My biggest issue with this movie, since we're airing grievances off the bat,
we can do that first.
My biggest issue is actually the story, and it has nothing to do with the live action adaptation.
Right.
I forgot about this. In rewatching Pinocchio, I remembered some horrifying shit happens, and this is Disney gentrifying, the Pinocchio story, but like those fucking kids don't get saved.
Right.
The fucking mule kids.
Pinocchio does, but
yeah.
And
also the movie just I think it was a remake that wasn't. I thought you enjoyed it, but okay.
I mean,
they're all not necessary.
Right, that's the thing. If you can enjoy it and think it's not necessary. I think I see where she's coming from. It didn't change much. It was just the same story except in live action, I think is what is the sentiment there. Which I could honestly, I haven't seen it, but everyone has this, like literally everyone has the same complaint, so I don't know why I wouldn't believe them. But the Lion King movie is that. Why did you make that? If it was just going to be the same movie except like it sounds like pretty boring.
I mean, it was cool that like Mufasa. I called him Mufasa. It was cool that James Earl Jones. No, that's the basis. James Earl Jones,
voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa.
John Paul Jones. That's the basis for Led Zeppelin.
Got it.
James Earl Jones
is Darth Vader. He got to play Mufasa again.
Yes, that was
cool.
Why
don't they always do that? I saw an interview with Danny DeVito. This is related, I promise. I saw an interview with Danny DeVito, and they asked him if he thinks they'll cast him as Phil in the live-action Hercules. And Danny DeVito said, this is the most Danny DeVito shit I've ever heard. He said, if they don't cast me as Phil, they don't know their head from their ass.
Nice. Good for Danny DeVito. First of all, good for Danny DeVito. They were clearly making a point with that Lion King casting, though.
Yeah.
As far as, like, people they were trying to get.
Right.
It'd be cool if they did the same thing for the fucking Greek Hercules movie, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain, though, if Danny DeVito was still in it. I think he has to be. But my other complaint is the story just doesn't end in the right place. In this, none of this has to do with the remake.
Right.
But, like, the story just... The pacing gets fucked up at the end. It's just too many things happen, way too little happens for 45 minutes of this 50-minute story. And then shit hits the fan, and then it just
sort of ends, and he basically turns into a boy off camera. Like
they don't even give you that satisfaction. They're like, I don't know, did you see it happen? I don't know, I didn't see it.
Right. Yeah. You can see him turn into a boy, but like it would have been cool to. Maybe they didn't want to animate a CGI child.
That would make sense.
My thing about this movie is that I feel like a big component of Pinocchio's stories is the lying, and they only play with
He
the
only
nose
did it
once. And they like.
Okay, I forgot. Is that a bigger aspect of the original cartoon?
I remember it being a bigger aspect of the original cartoon. I remember it being like a big moral struggle of like, oh, he's fucking lying again, but this time that's what that scene is supposed to be. It's like he's fucking lying again. Oh, but this time it's gonna help him escape.
Right.
But this time it was just like, oh, we discovered your nose is the thing at the Deus Ex Machina most time we could, and now we're free, and you never lied again.
I also noticed that, and I wasn't gonna bring it up because I thought it just furthered my point of the writing, but it sounds like maybe the remake just did away with most of that.
And I think it could have been a longer movie. I think all our issues might have been solved if they if they let things like stir a little bit. Because here's what I forgot about the original Pinocchio: this movie's like 75% villains. There's so many fucking villains.
Oh yeah.
There's the circus guy. There's the fox. There's the fucking the guy who played Gaston, making his like 4th or 5th live action Disney appearance. I swear to God. And the whale, which we'll get into because it's not a whale, but we'll get into it. But there's just like so many villains. I was like, oh my God, this guy's just like villain hopping.
Yeah.
What did you think of new character, the marionette girl with the legs? Because she's brand new, made for this movie, new song.
Did she replace a character, or
no.
was she was just a new?
In I Have No Strings, the original, there is like a female ballerina marionette that he tries to flirt with, but she does not reciprocate because she is not real.
Yeah.
And in this movie, they sort of personified her as this like human figure who was just sort of like being nice to Pinocchio.
Yeah, I feel like she gets lost. Her meaning gets lost in the pacing of the story. I feel like she's a big part of it. You think she's gonna be as you call him, temporary party member.
Right.
And then she's just not. And then she shows up at the end of the movie.
And then that part was weird to me. I promise we'll stop complaining soon because we both really like this movie. But that part was weird to me because she was like, we're hitting the road this second.
Yeah.
Come with us. And he was like, I can't. I got to save my dad. And she was like, okay, then peace.
Yeah.
Like,
she
it
was
wasn't like, you just wait here. I'll be right back. It was like, well, we have to leave right now.
Yeah. She was just like, all right, well, fuck your dad. And we're not going to help.
All she had to say was, because we're on the run from someone who's trying to catch us, and that would have fixed that.
Yeah.
But she was just like, ultimatum time, Pinocchio, you want to come with us? Oh, you can't right this second? Well, we're off.
Yeah.
Good, have a nice life.
Also, hopefully I see you next year, but, like, I still won't be alive. It's now or never.
Right, that's it. Yeah, we'll be in town next year, and we'll chat.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
Dweeb.
Yeah, I felt like had she become a party member, she would have been super cool. I just feel like she became unnecessary.
No, and I think that like falls in line with the whole like because this character, talking specifically about this character whose name I did not commit to memory, I apologize. She comes in, she sort of takes center stage for a couple scenes. She has her own song, and then she leaves. Most characters did that in this film. The fox shows up. He's in a large...
But that's part of the story.
Right. So it makes sense is what I'm saying. But it just, like... I don't know. It was interesting. It was an interesting inclusion. I didn't mind her. I didn't, like, love her. But, like...
Yeah, I had no issues with her. I was just... If I was to say, you know, make or break was she good, I'd say she was unnecessary.
There's two things that we have to talk about because I think you and I are of the same mind of these two things. The first thing I want to talk about is the clocks because holy shit.
Yeah.
And now we will spoil the fucking clocks because there's so many of them.
Yeah, you asked for it. You showed up to the Pinocchio episode. The clocks are officially getting spoiled.
The Snow White one was so intricate.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
It lasted
it's just
for like 20 whole seconds.
And as you said, just... impossible to actually make.
Yeah, are you kidding me? And it'd be so annoying. Like, it goes off every hour, and you're just, like, sitting there for, like, literally 20 seconds, just like, okay, all right, and then she goes in the thing, and then it goes, okay, cool. But yeah, just if you don't know what we're talking about, Geppetto's workshop is filled with cuckoo clocks that are CGI in nature, but they're also references to other stuff. So there's a Woody and Bullseye one. There's a Roger and Jessica Rabbit one.
Yeah.
There's a Snow White one. I think there's a Rapunzel one. And if I'm I think there might be a Moana one. I'm starting to
Oh,
forget.
I don't remember the Moana one.
Maybe I'm wrong then. I'm starting to forget, but there was a lot, and it was like, it wasn't just classic. I expected a Star Wars character to show up, honestly, because it wasn't just classic Disney. It was like,
yeah, it was
Disney
all over
and
the
Pixar
road.
and Roger Rabbit,
Yeah.
which has some weird legal issues that I guess are sorted because Roger Rabbit just keeps showing
Well,
up.
here's the thing: Disney just owns so many things now. I'm sure it just got. It just got swept under the rug. It's like, well, you finally bought out the company that you were, fighting with. It'll happen with Sony. 10 years from now, they'll own Sony.
I can't believe Roger Rabbit didn't end up a Warner Brothers character. That's crazy to me.
Oh, is that who we're fighting against? So they don't own.
Well, because that movie was Looney Tunes and Mickey and Friends. It was Disney and Warner Brothers.
Right.
So if one of those companies, it's like Mario Superstar Saga. If one of those companies is going to get that character, it's going to be either Warner Brothers or Disney. And I just really expected it to be. Maybe,
I hear that.
Maybe they were like, well, we already have a rabbit, so you can have it.
True.
I don't know. I don't know.
You can have this silly rabbit you're never going to do anything with. And tricks are for kids.
Shut up.
I said silly rabbit.
I
had to say it.
I know you did. I was right there. I was going to say it. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
All right, happy?
Yes, I got to say it. The other thing I wanted to, oh, sorry. Did you have something to say about the clock?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, okay, go for it.
First of all, I think the Woody one was my favorite.
It's
just simple.
It
really could be a real clock, and I like it.
But it's also the guy who voices Woody is in the same room as.
Yeah. Well, okay. Actually, thank you for reminding me why it's my favorite. It's so meta. Also, it's Pixar. They like that.
Right.
They had to make that was intentional. That was entirely intentional. Every aspect of it.
Yeah, dude. The fact I don't know if I said this on the last podcast or not, but I think it's so cool that the last time this dude worked for Disney, he was a toy. Yeah. And now he is a toy maker. Yeah. And the toy that he made was the toy that he played in the Toy Movie.
They officially any sort of like Pixar plus Disney universe that they like fans like to create it's just thrown out the window. That movie has just made it so Disney movies you got to carve them out. They cannot be part of the Pixar universe.
Dude, I preview of the video game podcast, I've been playing a fuck ton of Disney Dreamlight Valley, and that's the same thing. There's Pixar and Disney characters, and it's just like it doesn't matter. Like there's Incredibles and Up and but also Frozen and Little Mermaid. It's just all all in there.
That's
and
crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised with some sort of Star Wars DLC for Disney Dreamlight Valley down the line when it actually comes out. More on that next week.
Another thing I wanted to say though was they kind of buried the lead with this whole clock montage, and I loved it. I thought it was really clever when the guy comes in. Oh, because you think it's over
and then
no. When the guy comes in before you even see the clocks,
right?
And he's begging Geppetto to sell him the cute little duck who's getting chased by the crocodile.
Okay.
He wants that clock really bad, and then he leaves. And then they do the montage of the clocks, and it's Donald Duck getting chased by an alligator. And I was like, oh, shit, the cute little duck.
Right.
It was Donald Duck the whole time, and we didn't know. I don't know. I thought that was a clever little line.
No, it was really cool. It definitely put me in some sort of mood for the rest of the movie, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. It set the tone, for sure.
The other thing I wanted to mention is shout out to Keegan Michael Key as
oh my God.
Honest John.
He's gotta win an award for that performance.
Really? You think that? I wouldn't go that far, but I really enjoyed.
I think we might have seen some of the best voice acting we're gonna see this year. I think he went hard.
He really did, and I feel like I've seen this actor go from he's in it to what an amazing job he did.
Yeah.
Disney has been putting him in a lot of stuff. He was in
Toy Story 4.
He was in Toy Story 4. I forgot about that. He was in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Yeah. He was in Lion King, correct?
I think you're correct.
I believe he was Zazu or maybe Timon. Maybe he was Timon. Maybe that's what it was. I'm gonna look it up.
But yeah, no, he did a phenomenal job. All the voice, the kid who played Pinocchio, was incredible. How's about Jiminy Cricket?
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy
Cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah,
didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Oh,
honestly.
he did an amazing job.
Yeah, he really did. Who did Keegan Michael Key play in Lion King? Am I wrong? Oh no, He was Kamari? Oh, he was one of the hyenas, I bet.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I feel like Disney gave him an important role this time, and he killed it. He knocked it out of the park.
Because the problem with that that you may run into with that character that I feel like this movie doesn't is that once that character shows up, the movie's all about them. That fox like takes center stage.
Oh,
and is
yeah.
like, welcome to the Honest John movie featuring Pinocchio.
Right.
And I think that he did great. I don't know. I think it was really good. I really liked the fox segment and having it's funny because it was the clocks and the clocks were like, oh, that's cool. I'm excited now. And then it was the fox segment. And I was like, this is fucking great. What do you mean people didn't like this movie? And then it just sort of like put me in a mood for the rest of the movie. And then the rest of the movie dazzled me. I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. What did you think of the amusement park segment? Like, what did you think of the Luke Evans as the ringleader guy and all that?
I honestly forgot about that part from the original movie. I just want to make a Pauline brings up a good point. The voices sounded like the original voice cast, which is really cool.
Oh,
the kid who played Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket, and like they did a really good job. Sounded like the original, which is cool.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Like I forgot that they were gonna turn into donkeys. Like that part of that movie just was gone from my head. I thought it was all right. If there was one person who kind of overacted, as far as I'm concerned, it's the kid.
The kid, yes, I was
Pinocchio
gonna say,
hangs out with. When he was on, I was like, all right, okay.
I don't know if I agree with the decision to CGI all the root beer. I don't know if you noticed that, but it looked pretty weird.
Oh yeah,
to
it
me.
was, huh?
Because the kid that we were just complaining about, he downs the whole thing in like 2.5 seconds,
yeah.
and it's like obviously a human being, no matter how young or old, could not do that.
Right.
That was CGI, and then I was like, oh, all the liquid CGI. Oh no.
I didn't. I kind of assumed that was practical effect. I don't know why I didn't assume it was CGI.
Yeah.
I didn't. It went over my head. I think because I made that assumption in my mind. I was like, oh, weird practical effect. I wonder how they did that. I just did not pay attention to the root beer.
Yeah, it was
movie.
once I saw that kid down it, I was like, is that a liquid simulation? Oh, it is. It's all a liquid simulation.
That's
I see what's
funny.
happening.
Yeah, that went the actual mountain of candy was a bit much for me. It felt very mid 2000s CGI.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, I don't think we're quite there yet where every individual piece of candy looks good in CGI.
Right, yeah. Or this scene was given the care that it needed to make it look good.
Right.
Like, because it's the fucking Candy Mountain scene that's in the movie for 4.5 seconds. Like, I'm not gonna pay. One of the animators. I'm not gonna spend the next 2 weeks working on this when I could make Pinocchio look really good.
Right. No, exactly.
Which he
did.
Yes, yeah. Pinocchio, I think, looked great. He looked like he was made out of I don't know. He looked cool. He was obviously
pine.
CGI.
He's made out of pine.
No, I know, but he just like looked like I don't know. He looked cool.
Oh my God, Honest John's. There were two things about Honest John. There was he fucking slammed Pinocchio real quick, and I thought it was funny when he says we can't all be made out of quality lumber.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn, get him. Also, I thought the Chris Pine joke was funny.
That was another like hot off the tails of the fucking grandfather, the cuckoo clock scene.
Yeah,
I was just like, you can say that? Did you have to get permission from his agent to say his name? Probably not.
It's Disney. What are you gonna say? No, they'll buy you.
I'm trying to think if he's done something for Disney, and I'm remembering that he was in A Wrinkle in Time. That was Disney, right?
Sure.
He was in the most recent live-action Wrinkle in
If
Time.
it wasn't, it is now.
He played the MacGuffin dad from that rather bad story.
Welcome to Thunder and Lightning Gaming, brought to you by Disney.
Please no. please no.
Oh my God.
Let's talk.
I'm
no,
so
you
sorry.
Go first. You go first.
There was a scene in that fucking Obi-Wan documentary.
Yeah.
Where he pulls out cigars. They finally finished. He pulls out cigars.
Who's he? Obi-Wan? Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, and he says, I saved these. And he specifically said, and I want to mention this part, he said, I saved a few of these from when my wee boy was born. And he said, if anybody wants them, they're over here. And then he goes, I don't think Disney would like this because there's a camera on him. And I was like, shit, get him, Ewan McGregor.
So he was even because
he was being funny. Everybody laughed. But
he's been in the paint for a while with Disney.
Yeah.
He probably knows his way around like hey, maybe don't film this or
Yeah. Well, he even said he was like, they're gonna be over there.
Let's talk about what the thing that I was worried the most watching this movie for a different reason than you might expect.
Oh, the whale.
Let's talk about Monstro. Well, he's not a whale,
no,
now is he?
He's not a whale in Kingdom Hearts either, right?
So I did extensive research because I was like, because in the
I
live
saw the
action,
tentacles and I was like, that looks familiar, but not from the movie, from Kingdom Hearts.
No, you're misremembering something. Because
really?
He
Okay.
is, yeah. So
he's a whale in Kingdom Hearts.
So here's what's up.
Okay.
In the book, he is the book Pinocchio.
Yeah.
He is a giant mutated dogfish. That is how
shit.
they describe him visually.
Okay.
Then, when Disney, I'm going to use the word stole the Pinocchio IP to make a movie out of it, they were like, that's crazy. Let's just make it a normal whale that's a little more aggressive. They specifically made it I forget the term, but they specifically made it a whale that is docile in real life. And their spin was like, but this one's aggressive, right?
All right.
Therefore, it's scary. That's the version we get in Kingdom Hearts. Cut to the live-action Pinocchio movie, and they sort of combined ideas. How when you look at it, it's clearly based off a whale, but it's got human teeth. Duh, that Monstro had human teeth. They're not supposed to have human teeth. But he also had like tentacles, and like his body was shaped a little weird. Like I really want to see like on a computer screen, like I want to see the whole character model essentially, because they don't really, obviously he's in the water, half in the water for most of it. He or she, I guess it's not confirmed. But it's like a weird tentacle, like it's not a whale, right?
Right.
And they don't call it a whale in the movie. I noticed they don't call it a whale. They call it a sea
call it a
beast.
monster.
Yeah, they call it a monster. They call it a sea monster. They call it a sea beast, whatever. But I was like, there's got to be a reason for that, right?
Except Geppetto calls it a whale.
Does he?
Yeah, and they actually, I believe they make a point in commenting on that. I think Geppetto's just not in the know.
Right. Yeah, because Geppetto's, his whole thing is he doesn't leave his house.
Yeah.
Because I was getting, I don't know if this was in the original story or this is part of the live action one, but I was getting big like Astro Boy vibes. I was getting big like my real son died, and that's why and my wife, and that's why I don't want to go outside, so I'll build a new son. And
I hear that.
I was getting the impression that like the son's name is like Anokio or like Benokio or something like that, and he was like, "Oh, I'll take my son's."
Benokio one Kenobi.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, I know what I did. No, I was just getting the impression that he took his son's name and put Pine in it.
I could see that.
But they didn't really talk about that because that wasn't really the point of the movie. But yeah, that's why he probably thinks it's a whale. But it wasn't a whale. It was clearly not a whale. It was clearly like something else. So the people who made this one took different aspects from different stuff.
And then if you're ready and excited after Monstro for the third arc of the Pinocchio movie, it just doesn't exist.
Well, it doesn't exist in the 40s version either, right?
No.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Did Disney not come out with a Pinocchio 2? I distinctly remember one where he's a real boy. Maybe this was even a short, like Disney short or something. Not a new Disney short, but like way back when they like make a movie, but it's a bunch of different little stories.
Right.
I distinctly remember Pinocchio being a real boy, getting in trouble, and then getting turned back into a puppet that lives.
This Pinocchio sequel that's in your memory, is it the traditional 2D animation?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me look into that, because you're not wrong. They used to go ham on like Cinderella 4, Trapped Through Time.
Yeah. Cinderella 4, Back to the Future.
Cinderella 5, it's just Kingdom Hearts. Back to the Future. Okay, so, yeah, in Cinderella 3, she got trapped in the past.
Yeah.
And now, yeah. Which I guess would be like caveman times, because she already is like, yeah, hold on. Let's Google Disney
Cinderella 6, Armageddon.
Pinocchio 2? Let's do that. Nope, it autocorrected to 2022. Not that one.
Oh, I get
one.
it. I get it.
Trailer 2, Pinocchio 2, that's fake. Canceled movies, Pinocchio 2 is a planned sequel from the Disney animated. What is the character? What is Chris thinking of?
I'm guessing it's got to be, if it does exist, if I
'Cause I
didn't just
know-
make this up, it's got to be
Like a
one of
short or
those-
something.
yeah, one
like
of
a
the- I don't-
non-canon, like a segment in Melody Memories or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Not Melody of Memories. That's Kingdom Hearts.
I know what you mean. Fantasia? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, the other one, the shitty one that had the 3 cabs in it. It was called like.
Oh,
It was called like.
that might be what I'm talking about.
What was that fucking movie
No,
called?
you nailed it.
It was called. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I think we're starting to zero in though. I think we're figuring it out.
Because I think you wait. No, everyone, shut the fuck up. I think you might except Mason. You're good. Cinderella 7. She goes to Subway. I guess. Is that the pitch or is that the title or both?
If that was a pitch, Mason, you
What?
gotta have more
I-
gusto.
I think you might be right. I think we accidentally. I think these. What was that movie called? It was called like. Holy shit! Oh my god! Okay, hold on. I need to.
If that is the title of Cinderella 7, I like the uncertainty in the title.
I know.
Maybe she doesn't go to the subway. Melody time?
Hold on.
Pauline?
I think you're the closest so far. I know that Jose Carioca from.
Cinderella 8. Vin Diesel shows up with a car. That's the title. That's the title of Cinderella 8. Christ. Then does Cinderella just become like a prequel to those movies?
Amigo. So there's a Legend of the Three Caballeros. No, there's more. He was in something else. Wait. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. What is the? Okay, hold on.
Ooh, is this a Mancala effect that we're both feeling right now?
Mandela.
What did I say? Mancala?
You said
That's a game.
Mancala. Okay, I think I found it.
Okay.
I don't want to say it just in case it's. No, this is not it.
I mean, if this doesn't exist, let's pitch it to Disney.
I don't think this is it. Is this a movie? Yeah, it's a movie. It's okay. I'm on the Wikipedia article for something called Fun and Fancy Free, which is a 1947 movie. Film is a compilation of 2 short stories.
Yeah, remember when they used to do shit like that? I distinctly remember having this on VHS.
The first segment of Fun and Fancy Free is called Bongo, and here's the description: Jiminy Cricket
Oh shit!
first appears inside a large plant in a large house, exploring and singing "I'm a happy-go-lucky fellow." It doesn't mention Pinocchio though, and then there's Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Ooh, I think this is.
But that's it, according to this Wikipedia article. That's the movie. Those 2 things.
That might be it though.
But Pinocchio's not in this. Pinocchio is not in this.
What the hell? Yeah.
My mind.
All right, we got to get back to the podcast.
No, we don't.
Oh god.
No, we do though.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you're onto something?
No. Now I'm on the fandom article for Pinocchio, and I'm gonna see if he's what he's appeared in. No, not his appearance. I know he's a marionette made to look like a real boy. Don't start an ad, please. Is that it? That's the whole article? I'm done. We're done. You made it up. I'm done. I thought I had it. I don't have it. Pinocchio, you're wrong, I guess. I don't know.
Then let's make it.
Let's make it. Yeah, sure. Let's make it, bro. I know enough about Pinocchio to make a sequel based off of nothing. What I was going to say at the beginning of this is there is a claymation Pinocchio Christmas special that I had as a kid, but it's not Disney.
Yeah. That's not what I'm thinking of.
No, but
Mine was like,
you're imagining.
damn, you know those I was going to say Baskin Robbins, those Rudolph
Rankin and
movies,
Bass.
Rankin and Bass Rudolph movies. Now Rudolph just goes on like 50,000 different adventures.
Yeah.
Or it's like Rudolph.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Cinderella
because
9, Rudolph and Vin Diesel help her out.
Well, hold on, because the the Pinocchio thing, the Christmas special I was talking about is Rankin and Bass.
No. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying it felt like one of those where it's like Pinocchio goes to the fucking movies and gets turned back into a marionette. Like, it just felt like one of those Rudolph movies. You know what I mean? But no, there's no connection. If this ever existed, it was definitely the Disney version of Rudolph. Maybe this was a dream I had as a kid. This was just a fever dream.
Maybe.
Tom Hanks did a good job. I'm just trying to get back to the Pinocchio movie I know definitely existed.
I thought maybe it could have been a segment in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, but Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas is only Mickey Mouse characters. It looks like
I did own that, though.
It looks like it does Donald Duck, it does DuckTales, it does Goofy, Max, and Pete. What? Wait, is this movie awesome? I don't remember that. And then it, of course, does Gift of the Magi, but with Minnie and...
Pinocchio 2, 10 years later. Pinocchio gets drafted into World War II. Shit.
Yeah, that is the...
Would that be 10 years later?
That is how the timeline of that would add up.
Damn.
There's a Christmas sequel to an extremely goofy movie.
What?
Called A Very Goofy Christmas. And it's,
what?
And it's in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Have I not seen this?
I don't recall that. That's the thing, though. Disney made a million little shorts out of, like, some pretty heavy-hitting IPs.
Goofy and Max are mailing a letter to Santa Claus. However, as soon as they get home, their neighbor Pete tells Max that Santa does not exist.
Oh, shit. Pete?
What the fuck? After mistaking a Beagle Boy for Santa, you know, the villains from DuckTales, is this a TV universe? Anyways, the live-action Pinocchio movie was really good, and fuck the internet. And if you like Pinocchio, or you think that the new Pinocchio movie looks good, you should fucking watch it, because it was really good, and you have two people here who give it the thumbs-up, seal of approval. It was good. Would watch it again. Probably will watch it again. I forgot how much I loved the music from Pinocchio. I forgot that the song that... I'm not going to sing, because... I don't want to, but I forgot that the song that the fox sings was up there in my brain.
Yeah.
I had detached it from Pinocchio, and I will always be a fan of I've Got No Strings to Hold Me Down. The whole first half of the movie, I was like, here comes. I was like genuinely excited, and I was like happily like satisfied. I thought it was a really good part of the movie. I think they did that part like did it like really good.
I forgot When You Wish Upon a Star was from Pinocchio, and I'm glad that they made such a big deal out of it. Hold on, though. I'm not done. And Got No Strings on Me, I literally, the show that we played, the band's first show, I got my wireless set up working again, and that I was thinking of that song the whole time. I was like, I'm free. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. The When You Wish Upon a Star is just like the theme song of Disney now.
Oh, yeah.
In Disney Dreamlight Valley, not to reference it again, but the background music is like soft, like remixes of Disney songs, but the only songs that show up are songs from IPs that are represented in the game. So you got a Frozen song and a Moana song and all that, and you also have Wish Upon a Star, and I'm like, Pinocchio's not in this game, and I'm like, oh yeah. This is the Disney
They've just
song.
adopted it, yeah.
Which I thought was cool because they acknowledged that in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, really good music in Pinocchio. Sort of goes away after the first half, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think you and I are in agreement that old Pinocchio's good, new Pinocchio's good, but both of them struggle with a weird act structure. Like the movie is structured so like poorly. It's just like Act 1, Act 2, like a bunch of small acts, but you don't really feel like the movie, like you expect it to keep going.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't. And you're just like, oh, I did like it, but where's the rest of it? And I feel like that is the sentiment I had with the original as well.
Well, I needed the Blue Fairy to come back and be like, well, Pinocchio, you done did it.
It seems like they ran out of time, right? Because there was a blue glow in the cave they walked through, and then he sort of started to turn into a boy, and then it went to credits. So you're left to assume that that's what happened.
Right. They could have made that movie as long as they wanted to.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It was...
But I think they ended exactly where the original ended.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I don't know. I liked it. I understand why... who was it? Pauline. I understand why Pauline says it was unnecessary. Totally justified in thinking that. And I somewhat agree, but I did really enjoy watching
Same.
it. And I think you will too, dear viewers. If you're in chat right now, or if you're in the comments of this YouTube video, let us know what you think about this like semi-new format of opening the show with like what we've been doing. Things that won't get an episode. Maybe next week I'll talk about High School Musical, the series, season 3, for a few minutes before we talk about whatever the next episode is going to be. But yeah, let us know how you like that. I think it was good. I liked it immediately. I don't think
it's kind of like, how's your week been? Or how's your week in video games been?
Right.
How's your week in movies been?
Right.
Or cinema?
Right. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.